We are really so lucky in this school district to have so many wonderful foundations. Now, traditionally, foundations throughout the years have assisted the school district through teacher grants, scholarships for students. But our foundations really, I believe, are unique in that they also want to work strategically with the school district to support us on key initiatives that impact certainly our students and our teachers, but also the wider community. I think the role of the foundation is multiple. The foundation brings a broader perspective. They bring resources that perhaps we wouldn't be able to connect to, insight into how other school districts across the country are doing things. They also hold us accountable. As they invest their dollars in these initiatives, they cause us to constantly reflect. Are we getting the outcomes that we have believed would benefit the school district? I think that relationship is key on any key initiative, a strategic plan that really will move not just the school community forward, but have an impact on the broader community as well.
The Patterson Foundation is a fully endowed charitable foundation that was created by Dorothy Patterson back in 1997. And she did kitchen table philanthropy for 10 years until she passed away in 2007. The remainder of her estate went into the foundation she created. After we were funded by Mrs. Patterson with this flexibility, opportunity, and responsibility, we had to figure out where should we demonstrate our early work. One of our legacy initiatives was military. So we're building an enhancement at the Sarasota National Cemetery. It's called Patriot Plaza. It's a 2,800-seat amphitheater that can be used for major patriotic holidays and ceremonies. It'll be a jewel for our community, especially with the art elements that are in it, that will draw people out to understand what it's like to serve your country and also to be a family member of someone who serves the country. So while we're building Patriot Plaza, we thought, what could we do in our community to build partnering? Because we're very much about having organizations work together. So we created a many-month endeavor called Legacy of Valor campaign. And with Legacy of Valor, we're demonstrating how does a caring community honor veterans, inspire patriotism, and embrace freedom through partnering activities. And the Legacy of Valor, we have over 100 partners working on this, one of which is Sarasota School District.
That's part of America. Those are part of the freedoms and the liberties that we have. People have showed bravery throughout the years, certainly bravery in fighting for wars, bravery for fighting for civil rights. So, your job right now is to, on your paper, I want you to write 6 different words that have something to do with America.
The Patterson Foundation always looks in the opportunity perspective. We're about the new realities that can emerge. So it actually starts with leadership. Is there a leader who's willing to step out a little, take on a little bit more responsibility, and say, what could I do with this limited time opportunity? And Laura Kingsley stepped forward demonstrating the principles of how can we bring the community into the classroom? How can we let people who weren't maybe involved during the project come and see the result of what happens when people who are many generations older than 3rd graders sitting there and the 3rd graders interviewing them? Think of the skills that they're enhancing there.
I belong to the American Legion and the Veterans of Foreign Wars.
Different ages, older ages, they still have that mindset because that's the way they were raised. You guys are changing all that, and that's wonderful.
I say it slow and loud enough so I can hear you. That's all.
It means a lot because they are hearing it firsthand from people who have experienced what has happened in the USA, and they seem to be excited about it, and we are excited about it, and they are realizing that we grow regardless of how old we are, because I've learned something from them today, and it seems like they have learned something from the older ones of us, and it has meant a lot.
I got to interview someone that I really liked, and I've always wanted to be a reporter and see what different people's lives are about, and it was just a fun day.
This opportunity that the Patterson Foundation allowed us to give our children a more intimate involvement, it allowed them to really pick the brains of our seniors and ask them about passionate values that they have. And in the end, our children are the winners, right?
We loved the final showcase at the very end, after they had built the scripts and the artwork and the interviews and building upon. They took over Riverview High School auditorium. We are blown away with how Fruitville Elementary, who is busy every single day teaching students, working through all the mandates that come down to them, getting ready for the testing, how they took this opportunity to leverage relationships with intergenerational, with Senior Friendship Center, with arts and culture, with Florida Studio Theater, and with their students. They took this on as how far could they push the envelope, and I have to tell you, it became a big envelope.
I feel very appreciative of these other community organizations that are willing to help us and partner with us in the endeavor to educate our children.
Things That We Love by Lucas. The things that we love the warm hugs and kisses from our mom and dad, the celebrations of freedom. We love the proudness of our country. Most important, we love America.
And actually, whether it's the VA or whether it's the school system, government funds good. But it's philanthropy that funds imaginative excellence. And that is so true even in our school district, and I'm going to take the referendum dollars as a form of philanthropy, because it's every taxpayer who's in Sarasota County who is actually giving that extra boost. So everyone, in a way, through their tax dollars and in this referendum, is being a philanthropist, and they're allowing for the excellence. This is not a community that's interested in good. This is a community that wants excellence and understands it's not free.
We've been around for 25 years and dedicated to quality public education for all children. That's a very powerful mission and something that really I'm passionate about. We provide, through the generosity of our community, investing their time and their talent and their treasure in making our public education here in Sarasota County second to none. So the many, many things that we do, we go beyond what taxpayers' dollars can do. Some of the programs that we are really proud of are our Classroom Grants program. Our community has invested millions of dollars for teachers to be able to do in their classroom just that extra little bit that it takes to get their kids motivated and excited about learning. We've actually also put 6,500 home computers in the hands of children who wouldn't ordinarily have them. One of the other things we're really proud of is our world-class science fair. And one of our other really exciting programs is our Evening of Excellence, which is a high school art program. So those are just several of the things that the Education Foundation does through the generosity of its community.
50 and 25 is how much?
70?
The school district volunteer program has been supported for many years by the Education Foundation, for which we are very grateful. And one of the ways that the foundation has chosen to support our efforts is through the funds from the License for Learning. And it just makes a lot of sense, because it's a way that the community very easily, by the click of a button or filling out a form, can automatically support the community coming into our schools and helping our teachers and our students.
Our volunteers truly extend our resources. They are providing hours and hours of intensive instruction that we would not be able to give otherwise.
We have seen growth in the students. We have seen maturity and a level of respect that you wouldn't get if they didn't have that figure, that mentor. And also the academics, they've made strides. They have made strides in their academic, but again, I think it's just the basic needs. When you fulfill that, then the rest, the academics, fall into place.
And guess what? You are preventing them from slipping.
I just have to share with you that it's the warmest feeling that I get every single week that I come here, because I realize that somebody out there needs me for whatever reason. It may not be the fact that we'll finish all the work that the teacher gave. However, I may fill another need in that child's life by sharing my experiences with him or her, so that they can realize that they are not alone in this world.
And it keeps them from falling behind and propels them forward. And we all know that if a child starts falling behind without that little boost and that sense that somebody else cares about them and their schoolwork, they just keep falling further and further behind. And PALS is proven to be, in all of our schools, the perfect antidote, so to speak, to help each child be successful.
When you see the volunteers working, sitting side by side, one-on-one with our students, helping them to discover the joy of reading, working with them in the classroom to improve their math skills, to improve their social interaction skills and their understanding of the world. It's a direct result of the funds, so we can support this program to bring over 9,000 volunteers into our schools.
Even more than that, go out to the schools and just experience a class. Their teachers are engaging them in learning. They love it. That experience where you can see a highly engaged, motivated kids who love learning, that's what it's all about, and that's what our future's about.
The Community Foundation of Sarasota County was founded in 1979, so we've been around for a while, and due to the generosity of donors, we now have over 1,100 funds and $240 million in assets. And we've been built donor by donor, passion by passion. We are truly a collective foundation, if you will, of people's desires for a better community, which can vary from the arts to animals to education has been really important to a lot of our donors. So we really are a snapshot, if you will, of what people really care about in this community. And while we talk about our asset base and the size we are, while that's important, it means that we can grant out into the community and invest in the community. So we have been enabled to invest in education. Primarily a Mrs. Noby, who passed away, left her legacy here, and she cared deeply about education. We also have donors who care deeply about scholarships. That's a mix of high school seniors. Many of them have financial need, as well as adult learners, folks that have graduated from high school, gotten their GED, but are choosing to go back to improve their education for better economic security. Currently, some things that we're really proud about that we are involved with education is EdExplore SRQ. We have just multiple really wonderful partnerships with the Patterson Foundation. Through our partnership with them, we are in the process right now of building a major endowment fund to fund future ed explorations. I'm also really proud of the work that we're doing as an Any Given Child City. We're very honored. We were chosen by the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., and that is ensuring for kids, particularly kids in poverty, low-income kids, K through 8, the opportunity to experience the arts. Something else that we're doing in education is we have a student emergency fund. We're working with 36 schools in the school districts that have funding available on the spot to be able to provide for those types of student emergencies that they see. Tax dollar monies have been well spent by the results that we have as being one of the top 5 school districts in the state of Florida. However, incremental funding is needed as well, as we've come to learn. Counselors, social workers, arts, all these other pieces are critical for student success.
teddy bears, bears.
The Community Foundation had an education focus team, and they recognized that literacy was really critical for the success of a student. And we funded over $3.4 million of what's called Literacy Empowers All Families, or LEAF. And that really got us onto the topic and identifying the need of literacy. So we are now evolving our work in literacy, and we're really pleased that we are what is called the Campaign for Grade Level Reading.
She swallowed the bows to tie up the bell that jingled and jangled and tickled as well.
Campaign for Grade Level Reading has been identified by the Ann E. Casey Foundation nationally, and we are one of now 134 communities that are part of this. If you're not reading at grade level by the end of 3rd grade, 75% of those kids are not going to graduate from high school. We're going to have higher, obviously, dropouts, teen pregnancies. They're not going to be in a position for scholarships that I talked about before to further their education. So just even as a society, what that means for these kids that don't have the opportunity, if they can't read, they can't learn. We do know for kids to be successful in Campaign for Grade Level Reading, parental involvement is critical. So we are looking at lots of ways that parents can be reading to their kids, what other things can they be doing. If we also can be working with those parents that have a desire and an aptitude and interest to get ahead, we know that that will be a much more supportive environment for those kids to do better in school.
9, 10, 11, 12. He ate 12 muffins.
So we see this as a long-term approach that the need will diminish. So long-term, will we ever leave this? No, we won't. And we may look at, okay, we worked hard, we got more of them reading. What are some other things that the new world has, whether it's in technology? I don't know what those needs are within education. So we have a funding stream that's available for us to be responsive to what needs to be done. But in our great listening and working with the school district, how can they help us on what we could be doing? So what that looks like down the road, I don't know. But I'm excited that we know we have some consistent funding that we'll be able to work with the school district on.
The mission of Gulf Coast Community Foundation is, together with our donors, we transform our region through bold and proactive philanthropy. We work really hard to focus in on data. And data drives what we do at Gulf Coast Community Foundation. Every 2 years, we do a regional scan. We bring Cambridge Systematics in to talk with people, look at data in the community, and find out in our 5 funding areas what we should be doing to best transform in those areas: arts and culture, health and human services, education, civic affairs, and the environment. So based on the data with the downturn in economy, we knew we needed to focus on jobs. So we have had Career Edge as an initiative to help people who were already employed get training to move up in their company, and letting the entry-level jobs open up and be filled also by people. We also realized that our families are struggling. So we created Feeding Hungry Families initiative and Homeless Children in School initiative. So 4 years ago, after looking at data on our schools and knowing that the state rose the test level for science and math classes, but didn't create any programs to teach teachers how to teach to those new standards, we created our STEM Smart initiative. Our goal was to transform the way teachers teach and students learn science and math.
Scribble out all the R. All right, so what's left?
This stuff?
Uh-huh.
Oh, and the S.
And it says intersect with S, so which ones would we be talking about?
To be a part of that is just, I'm just humbled by that I am included in that, and the fact that the Gulf Coast Community Foundation has made this STEM Smart initiative possible and given us all that we need to do our job is just, I can't thank them enough.
And some of the capital dollars and also training dollars are going into supplying both the infrastructure that makes these classrooms possible, as well as the training of the teachers that makes these classrooms possible.
It was 1.8 when we first saw it. It stopped and it was 1.8.
Okay, so why don't you just go ahead and use 1.8? And obviously, you know, once they have this training, that impacts all of these students.
So that talks about how teachers have been transformed, their classrooms have been transformed, and kids are learning the way that they learn best, interactive with each other, using smart boards, using technology, solving problems together, yet the teachers can see how each individual student is doing.
Tell me, what would you do to solve this, Carter?
So you would add 6 to both sides. Wait.
Okay.
No, you would divide by 3.
Divide this one by 3, and then on the second part of it, of the compound, what would you do?
You divide it by 2. No, you would add 6.
Add 6, and then
Divide.
divided by 2. And if it says it is or, what would your graph look like?
That means that they're on either sides.
Both ends of the inequality of the number line, and so most of you got that one right. Nice job. You know, did I cover everything? Do they understand it? But today's review just reassured me that we are on the right path, that not only have we had fun in math, we worked together, but we've mastered the material. So I'm always anxious to get those scores to validate that belief.
So this is experiential learning. We all know that students who have been through these classes tell me that they love it. They're eager for more. They could stay for a longer class period if that were allowed. So it's really working beautifully, and it's instilling some of those things that we need to instill in our students so they do perform well. Our end of course algebra test this year, the students from Sarasota Middle School scored very high. In fact, higher than our gifted school. So we're very much aware of the importance of this kind of technology. We're thankful for the partnerships, and we look forward to installing and putting more of these classrooms in our middle schools.
Everyone at the school district has been really helpful. They really, really want to do the best job they can teaching our students, and they've embraced the help that they can get through our STEM Smart initiative and are taking it and running with it, and we couldn't ask for anything more.
I think when you have this quality of partnership, it gives a broader visibility to the work, and it makes people feel that they can take pride in what we have accomplished together. So when we talk about the wonderful outcomes of our students with their FCAT scores or the number of industry certifications they have achieved, we can share that pride with all of those players, those foundations who have really truly supported us. I think they give us visibility, accountability, and they share then in the pride that we all have together for this school district.
About a year or 2 ago, a group of citizens came to us and said they're very concerned that the school district is using our taxpayer dollars wisely. So we help them with what we call MGT study that brought that group into town to scrub the numbers and look at every dime that comes in and goes out of the school district. And I think you'll be pleased to know that the school district is doing everything it can to make sure it's using every single dollar wisely.
Every dollar that the district has, they are accountable for. Okay, I am astounded at how many audits they have to go through, how many oversight procedures that they have to go through. So the fact that they actually are able to accomplish magic is actually magical to me because they have so many rules and structures.
The school district has done, school board, school district, an excellent job of providing those successful opportunities for kids. However, that margin has become so much challenging for excellence that we're pleased to be able to partner with them as a foundation and invest in education as well.
It's this community that makes the difference in our school system. It's a community that cares about its children, it cares about its schools, and with that, it's one of the reasons that our school system is so successful. And I think that's really important for people to know that their generosity and their time, talent, and treasure really does make a difference in our school district.